Guys, it's time that we stop bad-mouthing bigger companies when they start doing some really cool stuff. Cellucor is just one of many companies, big companies that are coming out with some pretty cool, effective stuff. And this product, C4 Ultimate, is one of those. Welcome inside the FIHQ, my office here. I'm fitness informant, founder, and CEO Ryan Buckeye here with another 100% honest, no bullshit review. This time, we are talking about a product from the boys and girls at Cellucor C4 Ultimate. This is their premium-based pre-workout. Before I get started, I just need to get this off my chest. Cellucor gets a bad rap in this space. Why? Because they're big boys who make pre-workouts and sell product at Costco and Walmart. Okay, that is one section of their business. That consumer is different than the consumer who's going to buy and use Cellucor C4 Ultimate. So, they are just providing a solution for the entire consumer base across the spectrum. But again, I'm not going to focus on that, not going to dwell on that. Here to talk about C4 Ultimate. Today we're going to talk about this on 5 different categories. First, we're going to talk about the ingredient profile. Second, we're going to talk about the effectiveness. Third, we're going to talk about flavor. Fourth, mixability, as well. I'll show you a mixability test here on camera. And then finally, talk about value. So, C4 Ultimate, a fully transparent label. Thank you, Cellucor. This is the way it should be. Now, I do know Cellucor still does some proprietary blends in some of their products, including their drinks, but this one is fully transparent, which is awesome. What's unique about this profile is, I believe, Cellucor was the first company to use different forms of nitrates within this pre-workout, being citrulline nitrate and creatine nitrate, something that you don't see often. And now you see citrulline nitrate a little bit more. You still don't see much on creatine nitrate, but you start out with your C4 Super Citrulline Pump Matrix. Citrulline, precursor to arginine, helps improve blood flow. You get 4 grams of pure citrulline. You need 3 to 5 grams of pure citrulline for it to be impactful and effective. You get that right there in the first part of this blend. Citrulline malate at a gram. It doesn't tell us if it's a 2-1 ratio, a 1-1 ratio. Doesn't really matter. It's going to yield some more citrulline. Going to give you a little bit of malic acid, which can help aid in performance. Not necessary, but it's there. And then citrulline nitrate as NO3C. This is an exogenous nitrate. It's at a full gram that helps induce pumps. If this is our first review that you've seen here at FI, just know that we're massive, big fans of exogenous nitrates. We then jump into a full clinical dosage of carnosine beta-alanine at 3.2 grams. Beta-alanine tingles, yes, I understand that, but it can also help with muscular endurance and buffering lactic acid, so reducing muscle soreness over time. Then we have 2 forms of creatine. Creatine hydrochloride basically as concrete. So if you don't know, you go back years, there's a little yellow container, it's called concrete. It's creatine hydrochloride. It's basically like microdosing of creatine. I don't necessarily believe in it. I'm still a big creatine monohydrate fan. I understand why they use it in the product because it's going to be less of a serving in terms of overall weight, making the serving size decent. But again, I'm more of a firm believer of creatine monohydrate. And then you also have creatine nitrate as NO3T, another exogenous nitrate. So you get creatine, I believe it's creatine monohydrate, and a nitrate. So you're not going to get, in my opinion, I think you still want to supplement with creatine monohydrate daily, 5 grams. But it's not terrible to have in here. It's going to help aid with pumps, if nothing else. Taurine used at a full gram. Taurine can help regulate electrolytes, can help with hydration, can also reduce some of the stimulatory effects you get from things like caffeine or yohimbine, both that are in this formula. N-acetyl L-tyrosine at 400 milligrams, also known as NALT. Typically, I see this at 750 milligrams. It is a little bit lower here in this formula. That's not necessarily a bad thing because coming up next, we have alpha-GPC as alpha size at 200 milligrams. Now, both of these ingredients are focus-enhancing ingredients. Alpha size we typically see at like 100 milligrams. So seeing that 200 milligrams is pretty cool to see of alpha-GPC. So that, in combination with NALT, as well as huperzine, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, should provide decent impact and elevation when it comes to mood and focus. Then we have 300 milligrams of caffeine and hydrous. I like this dose. I like 300 milligrams. That's kind of like the sweet spot, you know, in my opinion, in terms of caffeine and hydrous. This is the caffeine that's going to hit quickly and go to work. 300 milligrams now is kind of traditional that we see across the spectrum. Then I mentioned alpha size, alpha GPC. Teacrine used at 62.5 milligrams. Now, teacrine we typically like to see between 50 and 100, so it's nice to see that 62.5. That pairs very well with caffeine. Teacrine is from Compound Solutions. Very similar to caffeine in terms of some of the stimulatory effects it gives you, but it doesn't increase heart rate and it is not a stimulant. So what that's going to do is going to hit after caffeine. You're going to have caffeine and hydrous hit right away, and then teacrine kind of drag it out, so that way you can avoid the crash from this pre-workout. Then you have basically yohimbine at 1 milligram here. This is a high stim. Milligrams good because if you get too much yohimbine, some people can have some anxiety, jitters, body temperature, sweats, cold sweats, etc. So it is a stimulant. It works well with caffeine. It works well with caffeine and teacrine. It's going to help overall improve your energy outputs. It's also going to help improve focus as well. And then lastly, I have huperzine A at 50 micrograms. We typically see huperzine at about 100 minimum. So it's a little bit lower. So NALT and huperzine both a little bit lower, but a little bit higher on the alpha GPC. Overall, it's a pretty damn good profile, guys. For Cellucor, this is really, really good and respectful. Where it's missing a few things, I'd say in strength and power output, betaine, especially because we're using nitrates in this formula. I would love to see a betaine nitrate, but that's okay. Pico 2, expensive mushroom blend as well, could have been used to help with certain things too. But I think overall, it's going to hit the nuts and bolts. You're going to have energy, you're going to have pump, and you're going to have focus. And they do a really good job in terms of dosing on these ingredients. When it comes down to effectiveness, yeah, you're going to get good energy, you're going to get good focus, and you're going to get good pumps. 3 milligrams of caffeine with 62.5 milligrams of teacrine mixed in with 1 milligram of yohimbine. You will feel this product work. If you're one of those people who need to feel the itchiness from the beta-alanine, you have that. It's there. In terms of pump, not a ton of pump ingredients outside citrulline and the exogenous nitrates. There's no agmatine. There's no vasodrive AP. There's no glycerol, etc. But that's okay. This is not a pump product. It's a pre-workout that has added benefit of pump to it. I like the use of exogenous nitrates. You do look full when you're lifting, which is obviously key because being full looks cool, but it also brings nutrient-rich blood into the muscles, helping repair the damaged tissue that you happen to have when you're working out. And then lastly, in terms of focus. Now, there are pre-workouts out there, I think, with better focus improvement aspects to it, but again, no, in collaboration with alpha GPC and huperzine A, I think does provide overall a nice mood elevation and focus elevation, especially when you combine that with caffeine and teacrine. In terms of taste, this is where the product missed for me. We got to try 2 different flavors. One we got to try is what I'm holding here is cotton candy, and we got to try icy blue raz. Let me start with icy blue raz. Once you've had one blue raspberry, you kind of had them all. So not that it's bad, it's just I'm not a huge blue raspberry fan. If you like blue raspberry and that's your jam, you're going to very much like icy blue raz. For me, it was just, another icy blue raz. Cotton candy is what really disappointed me because I know Cellucor and their energy line, their RTD line, makes a cotton candy drink that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of, but I thought that tastes much better than this one. It starts out tasting like cotton candy, but then there's a weird off taste that I can't put my finger on that I can't quite explain. Now, I don't buy pre-workouts based on taste. I buy pre-workouts based on profile and effectiveness. So I would still purchase this product. It's just not one I want to sit and sip on like a martini. I'd want to chug the shit out of it and get to the gym. So it starts with this cotton candy. And maybe that's what cotton candy is supposed to taste like. I don't know. I'm admittedly not a cotton candy fan. So that's where it missed the mark for me. Misability in this stuff is great, guys. Check this out here. Over 16 grams of the serving size, 16.2 grams. I did it in exactly what they said to do. So if you look at the label on this, it says use it in 12 fluid ounces of water. I did that. I poured out. Not super cloudy. You get some coloration from the actual product itself, but we typically look for chunks. Don't have that. Chalkiness and chunks, right? Particles and residue sticking to the side of the shaker. Don't have that. We don't have a ton of floaties in the water. So very impressive mixability from Cellucor in their C4 Ultimate product. Finally, let's talk about value. This product is a 20-serving product, and it retails for $39.99. So $2 a serving. That is the going rate on pre-workouts in the market today. So it's not bad. It's a good profile. It works. Taste could be better. Mixability is great. So on that alone, is this worth $40? The answer is absolutely. This is a $40 pre-workout. Use our code INFORMANT. It's going to knock off 20%, making this $32 for 20 servings, making it a great value. Guys, it's time that we stop bad-mouthing bigger companies when they start doing some really cool stuff. Cellucor is just one of many companies, big companies that are coming out with some pretty cool, effective stuff. And this product, C4 Ultimate, is one of those products. It's a fully transparent pre-workout with efficacious dosing, cool ingredients. It works. It is worth the price of admission. If you want to purchase this product, look below for a purchase link to take you over to their website, as well as that coupon code to save you a few dollars. If you want to read more in terms of this review, go to fitnessinformant.com, or you can click the link in the description box below. Follow us on our social media channels. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe now button here below. Check out our podcast. It's called the Iron Union Podcast. It's right here on YouTube. It's on iTunes and Spotify. And for more supplement reviews, rankings, news, deals, workout routines, and nutrition plans, visit us on our official website and online, fitnessinformant.com. Let's